Hello everyone, this is Maykoro Giriki-Salliss coming all the way from the land down under Australia. Now, Saberforum.com members will know me as AZN86.Jedi or Asian86Jedi. Today I'll be attempting my first ever video review ever, and what better occasion than for my first and probably not the last Ultra Sabers lightsaber, so bear with me. I'm pretty new at this. So here we go. So what I have here, for those that don't know, is the Garden hilt from Ultra Sabers. This hilt probably sits at the top of my list of favorite hilts, hence why I got it. It's perfect. So just a little bit of a background. I purchased this hilt late December after Christmas, and I took delivery of it sometime around January. Which is probably about a couple of weeks later, which surprised me since I thought it was going to take a heck of a lot longer considering it was on back then. Which is great. Speaks volumes to the turnover time at Ultra Sabers, and I'm really appreciative of their service in that regard. Anyway, on to the saber. So I decided to get this hilt with both the Emerald driver and the Obsidian version 4 soundboard. I thought I might as well have the flexibility to change blade colors and sound fonts whenever I felt like I wanted to change it, and this is perfect for that. Yes, I paid more for it, and unfortunately the local dollar over here isn't doing so well against the US dollar, but what the heck, it's a lightsaber. So at the moment, as you can see, I've detached the blade from the hilt, just to provide myself a little bit of an easier time just to do this review. For now, I'll put the blade on eventually, so here we go. So let's start up the top here. Let's bring this in focus. So very beautiful emitter. Just some windows here. When we turn the saber on, you see how beautiful that looks through these little holes. Got the prop emitter switch. A couple of other fittings around here. We've got the actual switch, AV switch that actually will turn on the lightsaber. I've opted for just a silver non-limited AV switch, just to keep things simple and just to match the sort of silvery color just around here. And just looking down the hilt, so very well machined grooves here just to provide a bit more grip. And so the grooves are probably a little bit too wide for my liking, just from the overall aesthetic look. Probably can fit a few more in if they were a little bit thinner, but that's okay, that still works pretty well just to provide a pretty good grip. A little cover tech wheel here, perfect for propping up in your belt when you cosplay. And last but not least, the spiked pommel. Now this is the square version. I might eventually get the spiked version that you get on the Mantis Sabers eventually, but I'm pretty happy with what it is for now. There are a couple of little bit of gripes, if you like, about the hilt at the moment. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the quality, but if I just bring it up right up and close here, you may be able to see. That's probably too close. Maybe I'll see, just focusing on this little bit down here. Now this is probably a slight bump. Again, it's just a little gripe, but doesn't really impact on the general feel of the saber as a whole. The other small gripe I have is the fact that, not whether you can appreciate, but I'm sticking my finger down. There's a fairly large gap between the pommel and the rest of the hilt now. I thought, it wouldn't make sense for it to be able to screw all the way down, but try as I might, it actually does not go down any further. So just tiny little things, but you know, overall it's a pretty good saber. Another thing I've actually noticed when we are dueling, these little fittings up the top here can actually get loose. Again, not a big deal. These can be retightened using one of these. This is a little multi-tool, multi-Allen hex wrench set that I got myself from the local warehouse, or hardware warehouse I should say. And these are great for just doing on-the-fly repairs with my lightsaber here. Okay, so no prizes for guessing what blade color this is. Yes, it's a Guardian Blue. I'll just go ahead and turn it on. It's on the silent sound font at the moment. Here we go. That is bright. Now, you guys probably noticed why, and probably wondering why I have a big hole in the middle of my blade plug. I'll just turn it off here so that you guys can see. It looks a bit battered. Reason for that was the blade plug that I got with the Saber was pretty tight. Now, I'll be a little bit of a noob here and basically ask, which way does the blade plug actually go in? Does it go in with the empty bit first, or does it go in essentially as I've have it here? The reason why I had to drill a hole right in the middle of the blade plug was to try and get it out, because I was doing a bit of a play around with the Saber, and you can see with the blade retention screw right here, wasn't on very tight, and I literally dropped. Before I dropped it, I probably have about that much of the blade plug sitting up just between my fingers, and it dropped like so on the carpet, and it went all the way in and got stuck. So what I ended up having to do was to drill a hole and essentially try and get a bit of a thick gauge steel wire and try and fish it out that way. It turned out what I had to do was literally take a couple of these fittings off and essentially help lever the blade plug out of the emitter, and it was all good. After that, as you can see, the Saber did not come out worse for it. Still pretty left unscathed. So what I had to do after I got the blade plug out was to give it a good sand on the outside. I'll just go ahead and take it out now. So just listen to blade retention screw here, so the blade plug can come out. So that's it right there. So I had to give it a fairly good sand so that it will just go inside the emitter nice and easy, and it'll just slide back out again without me having to worry about it getting stuck ever again. So for our members, feel free to comment on this. If you guys have any blade plugs that just got stuck in emitters, this is the if you find you get a blade plug that's pretty tight on your hilt, I probably recommend sanding it first so that you can have it going nice and easy. So my question with the blade plug, does it normally go in like this, or does it go in this way? I suppose it doesn't really matter now that I've actually sanded it down to size. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and attach the hilt, and we'll see what it's like with the blade on and with the lights dimmed down. Okay, so I've gone ahead and attached the blade onto the lightsaber like so. Feels pretty balanced, particularly when I grip it probably from around here. You may be able to notice there's probably a little bit of a crink inside the blade. That's just due to me having some pretty full-on deals with this Saber when I first got it. For all those that are wondering, this is just a standard mid-grade Saber, not an Ultra Edge blade. Works pretty well with sort of contact that I've had with the dueling as it is at the moment. I will put in an order for a heavy grade eventually, one of my next Saber orders, which will hopefully be soon. So I'll just go ahead and turn it on here. However, this is really bright. Ultra Sabers does a really good job with their LEDs. This is super bright, and even on camera it sort of mimics the look of the actual lightsabers you see from the films. Now you can actually see, just when I turn the Saber around, these tiny little fittings here double as windows, and it just gives off a really cool effect when we turn the Saber on. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. I'm beginning to wish that I got a limited AV switch, but that's okay. I made my choice. I'll do that with my next Saber that I have. At the moment it's on silent mode, so for those of you who are curious as to what you can do with Obsidian version 4 soundboard, you could essentially just pick your sound fonts with this button right here. So I'll just hold it off to turn it down. Here we go. And to change the sound fonts, I have to hold it down when I turn it on. The lumen does a little boop, and I'll just go ahead and activate the default Obsidian version 4 sound font for the Saber. That is very, very loud. Any reason why I had it on the silent mode before was to just not disturb everyone.
Confirm.
So just hold it down to confirm, and the minute I let go, here we go. So a little bit of a sound there, so just moving it around. It's probably not as sensitive as I would like it at the moment, but I'm guessing that you can change that on the Ultra Sabers software on the PC eventually. I'll get around to that maybe a little bit later. But just to conclude, pretty happy with this Saber right here. I guess one could say that dreams come true at Ultra Sabers with a lightsaber that you like. So hope you guys have enjoyed the review. Please post your comments below if you like, and I will be posting this link on the Saber forums as well. So once again, it's good day from Australia. This was Maykoro Giriki-Salliss signing out. May the force be with you.